Hello, happy Thursday, happy June, everybody. Today is the 1st of June. I'm so excited to come with you, hang out with you today to use one of my favorite stamp sets from the new catalog called the Just My Type stamp set. My name is Lorita Groot from Lorita Marie Crafts. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Calgary, Alberta, and I love to come live here every Thursday so that I can help you and give you some fun tips, techniques, ideas, inspiration, to help you take your paper crafting supplies and turn them into beautiful projects that you can then share with others, which is the fun part about it. Today, like I said, I am going to be making a set of note cards featuring the Just My Type stamp set, which is a really fun, kind of whimsical, cute stamp set that is really fun to play with. So I can't wait to show you those. But first, there's a couple big things going on today on June the 1st here in the Stampin' Up! World. The first one is that for the whole month of June, there is a designer series paper sale. So the pattern paper. So exciting. So almost all of the paper in the new annual catalog is 15% off for the whole month of June. So I'm going to show you some of the ones here in the catalog in a second. So that's really awesome. And I'm going to be using one of my favorite sets of DSP today called Delightfully Eclectic. So that's one of my favorites, but we'll talk about all of them in a second. And so that's the whole month of June. So if you've been waiting to place an order for some new things, now is the month that you want to place your orders, because who wouldn't want all that discount on the DSP, right? And all the DSP this year is awesome. So there's going to be a set that speaks to you for sure. The other thing that's exciting is that there is a deal on the starter kit. I love these. So if you've ever thought about joining Stampin' Up!, being a part of the Stampin' Up! Family, hanging out with me, being part of a team, just kind of getting to be on the inside of Stampin' Up!, and the perk, of course, is that you get a discount on all your products. So one of the things for joining Stampin' Up! Is that everybody gets 20% off, and then it can kind of go up from there depending on a few things. So that's an awesome way to get a discount on your supplies. It's definitely one of the perks that I looked at when I first signed up. So the deal right now, so the kit is $135, and you can choose anything you want, any products that you want. It's $135, and normally you get $165 worth of product, but this time you get $206 worth of product. So you get an extra $41 to spend, but so it's so exciting. So you pay $135, but you choose $206 worth of product. So this is also for the whole month of June. So it's going to be lots of fun and a great time to be a part of Stampin' Up! So if you have any questions about those kinds of things, definitely feel free to contact me. I'd love to talk to you about it. So let's point the camera down and talk about this paper for a sec before we start on our projects today. So the DSP. So Stampin' Up! Has amazing designer series paper. It is one of my favorite things about Stampin' Up! And so there's beautiful options here, some 6x6, some 12x12, lots of different colors and themes going on. And so these are all on sale. So 15% off for the whole month of June, all these ones that you see here. So the only ones on this that aren't on sale are the Color Family paper stacks, okay? But everything else is 15% off. And also the Hello Irresistible DSP, which is online only, which is adorable and so cute, and I've made cards with that in the past, it is also 15% off. So there's lots of choices. Today I'm going to be using this set here, which is called Delightfully Eclectic, and I'm going to show you the patterns here in a second because it's totally worth showing you all of them. I'm just using a couple of the patterns today. And I'm going to be making note cards. So I just wanted to mention here on page 135, or if you're looking online, just note cards and envelopes. You can get a little pack of note cards. So they come in white and vanilla, white or vanilla, I guess, and you get 20 cards and 20 envelopes, and they're like a smaller size. And so this is a fun way to make up a little set of cards in a sense that you can have on hand for any occasion. So that's kind of my goal today. These are cards that you can have on hand to pop in the mail as a thank you, as a hello, as a I think you're awesome, I just wanted to send you a note, like whatever, all right? So there's all sorts of reasons to have a little card on hand. So this is the star of the show today. Look how cute this is. So much fun. And I'm going to be using this one as well from the Delightfully Eclectic. So because paper's on sale, I'm going to show you the rest of the patterns today. Because this paper I love. This is a big stack. There's 12 designs, double-sided, and you get 4 of every one. So this is a big pack. And so to get it on sale is the perfect time to get it. So this would be great for scrapbooking because you've got lots of designs. You could also share it with a friend. Me and my sister actually split this pack. There's so many fun ones. And it features a lot of the new in colors. The new core colors, which is what I'm going to be using today. So that was just one side, people. One side. Do you see a favorite one? That daisy one is my favorite. Pretzels. Come on. So cute. Some looks like lined paper. Look at this one. There's 2 of them actually. That one's more yellow and this one's a bit more white. Stripes, which are always my fave. I used the stripes last week if you watched my cards last week. Little strawberries and little look like letters. So cute. So this is a really fun set. So I just wanted to show you that one. And then let me show you the stamp set that we're going to be using today. So it's called Just My Type, and it's so cute. It's got this great typeset font and these really cute images that you can mix and match, and I can't wait to show you all about it today. So we're going to be making 3 little note cards. So here's the size of the note cards. So the front is 3.5 by 5, and so it's a great little size, and we're going to be making them all this way. And I'm going to just step up each card as we go along. And I'm going to be, like I said, featuring a bunch of the new core colors. So Stampin' Up changed all their colors this year, if you haven't heard. And all the new ones are magnificent. They're magnificent. So I'm very excited about them. So these are some of the colors I'll be featuring today. Let's see if you can get, there we go. Pretty Peacock, Berry Burst, Bubble Bath, Lemon Lime Twist, and the last one there is Lemon Lolly. So really fun colors. So the first one here, keep it super simple. We're going to just stamp on white. So I can show you that you could just stamp the images right onto your paper to create your card. So first I'm going to get my sentiment here. And this is like one of the reasons I loved this set. Is I hope your day is filled with sunshine and rainbows. Like who wouldn't want to get a card that said that in the mail, right? And I'm going to ink this up in Pretty Peacock. And I'm going to stamp it a bit more to the bottom of this piece of white cardstock, which is cut to 3 3/4 by 2.5. And then I've stamped it to the bottom because, of course, what am I putting above it? The rainbow. So I'm going to show you a simple little technique here for the rainbow. So let's just grab it here. And I'm going to stamp it in black, just kind of in the center above my sentiment, like so. And then, of course, I want to give it some color, right? So it matches my card. So I just wanted to show you something. I don't yet have markers or blends in the new colors, and you might not either. So I wanted to show you a simple way that you could get all the colors. So I wanted my rainbow to be Berry Burst, Bubble Bath, and Lemon Lolly. And so what I'm going to do is take a block, and I'm just going to put a little bit of ink on the block of each color here. Make sure you don't mix them up. Like so, and then the Berry Burst. You could use 3 different blocks too if you wanted, but I'm just going to use the one block. And then if you wanted to watercolor, you could watercolor, but that's a little more fussy. I want to make this as easy as possible. So I'm going to grab the blender pens. So these come in a pack of 3, and you can just put the pen, so it's clear, you put the pen in the ink, and then it's like becomes a marker in that color essentially. You could do fancier techniques with it, or whatever, as far as your imagination can go. But this is just a simple way to do some coloring when you don't have the colors. So, you know, the markers are on my wish list, but I don't have them yet. And so this is a great way for me to get the colors that I want. And then you just kind of brush it on your paper until you see that it's clear. And then I'm going to go into the bubble bath next. So super fun. I don't know if you guys have a favorite new color yet, if you played around with some of the new colors. I seriously love all of them. I can't decide. I love bubble bath because it's like the perfect pinky purple. It's got such a fun tone to it. And yellow is my favorite color, so I love the lemon lolly too. It's like the perfect shade of yellow. But I've always loved pretty peacock. I mean, really, how do you decide? So we're using a few of them today. So there you go. So just like a simple way that you can color your little rainbow. Just get that out of the way, and then you just clean your block later. And then this is my simple card. So all I'm going to do is I've cut, remember that lovely heart paper from the Delightfully Eclectic? I've just cut this to fit on the front of my card. So it's 4 3/4 by 3 1/4. And so this is just to add a background, of course. So if you wanted to keep this card super simple, you could stamp right onto your note card and just have a really simple set of note cards and just kind of stamp similar things on the front there. And then I'm just going to put this on. And then you can see, I don't know if you can tell, a few of these hearts are actually bubble bath. And so if you wanted to add more of them that had the pink in it, you could do the same thing. So you could grab your blender pen, get it into the bubble bath, and you could color in that heart. So you can also, of course, use the Stampin' Blends or the right markers. But this way too, you can get a little bit of color on those hearts. So that's just kind of another fun thing to try. So let's just fold this up, and this is our first card, and I've got 2 more for you today. So that's the first one. Cuteness. All right, second card here. We're just gonna layer up a couple more things. So I've got my same note card base, and this time I wanted to add a little bit of DSP. And so this time, I used this pattern here. So I just looked for the ones that had the colors I was using. So this is Bubble Bath. And I just cut out a circle. So I just cut out a large circle. And this is with the Stylish Shape Size. And this is the largest of the circles. And I'm just going to go ahead and use my seal and put this right onto my card. Which does kind of have to be straight, even though it's a circle, because I've got a pattern on there that needs to be straight. And then I got a piece of white cardstock here that is 4 by 1. And I'm going to use this fun little hello. That's like all the little circles. And I need this block, so we're just going to clean it off with the chamois. So this stamp with the hello, you could cut out all the little circles if you wanted to. You could get different colors and do different things like that. But I was just trying to keep it simple today, so I'm just going to stamp it all as one thing. So we'll just pick it up, and I'm going to stamp this also in Pretty Peacock. And this stamp set, you might want to play with yours if you get this one. I found you don't want to push too hard. So just so you know you've made good contact, but don't push too hard so that you don't get kind of the negative space filled in with ink. Because our pads are so juicy, sometimes that could happen. So we just got a nice big hello there, which I'm going to put on with dimensionals, and then we're going to stamp a couple of the other images here. So we'll just center that on our card. And then let's just grab some paper. And so you've got all these cute little images. So for this one, I'm going to do the little plant and the little heart. So I'm using all the same colors. So we've got Lemon Lolly, Lemon Lime Twist, and Berry Burst. That's all the ones I need. So the first thing that we're going to stamp is this cute little heart in Berry Burst. So that's fun. And then let's clean that off. And then we're going to stamp the little pot. I love these kind of stamp sets with some just cute little images that you can mix and match as you like. There's also like a little envelope, so cute. So there's a little yellow pot. And then we're going to do the leaves of the plant. So just grab another block here. And then I'm going to do that in Lemon Lime Twist. And there you go. And we're going to fussy cut them out. So this does take, you know, okay, you got to grab your scissors and fussy cut them out. There's no dies that go along with this set. So that depends on your style of card making, if you want to do that or not. Or you could stamp them together and cut them out as a whole one piece. But I went ahead and cut them out. I think I forgot to cut out the heart. You are going to have to watch me cut out the heart. So I've got the little plant already done, but let's go ahead and cut this heart out. That's a weird sentence. We can cut this heart out. And I left a border on the plant and the pot and the plant. But for my heart, I'm going to go right into the ink so there's no white outline on it. And you kind of like turn the paper as opposed to the scissors, and that helps sometimes. All right, I'm going to put a glue dot on the back of my pot near the top. And then I'm going to put it together so the plant, kind of the leaves kind of sit behind the pot. And I want it to sit kind of like this on my card, so I'm going to put a dimensional kind of to one side. So put that there. And then I'm going to use a glue dot for my little heart here. And we're going to put it right onto the plant. Like so. So let's fold this one up. And then we've got card number 2 done, and we got one more to show you. So it's that one. So just keeping them simple here. So that's the second one. And then the third one, we're going to do a few more elements to it just to step it up a bit. So we've got the same card base, and I'm going to use DSP on the background again. So I've got this pattern again, so it's going to fill the whole background. So this one I only made an 1/8 of an inch smaller than the card, so it is 4 7/8 by 3 3/8. So that's going to fit on there. And then I wanted to put a strip of this fun heart paper on there, but I wanted to cut out, just to add a little detail, I'm going to use my Banner's Pick a Punch, and I'm going to cut out the end. And I always turn mine over to make sure I'm getting it straight. And then I think I need to just trim this off just a tiny bit. So this was the full 5 inches by 1 inch. But I think I'm just going to trim off a tiny bit off the edge. And then we're going to layer that on there. Ooh. All right. So these cards are good for me this week. My son was in a play for the first time ever. He's in grade 4, and he just was like, yeah, I think I'm going to go in the play. I was like, what? So I want to give a few cards to the teachers who put so much time and energy into putting it together. So I get to see it tonight. So I'm excited about that. These are going to come in handy. So we have got our plant. I'm going to actually use the plant again. And this time we're going to do the little typewriter. It's so cute, right? So we're going to grab the typewriter first, and I'm going to stamp it in Pretty Peacock. Nope, make sure I've got. When you're using photopolymer too, you could use the little mat, the little foamy mat. Sorry, mine's well loved. To help you get even pressure. And like I said, you might just want to play. I found I didn't want to push too hard because then the negative spaces started showing through, but that turned out pretty good. You kind of get the feel for your stamps as you go along, I find. So you just kind of play with them, right? All right, then we're going to do the paper. So you've got two choices. You've got a straight piece of paper and this one that's got like the little curled edge. I love that. So that's what we're going to use here. And I need the black. Just going to go like that. And then you've got a few choices of some things that you can put inside. So you could put a little heart in there. If you didn't want to put a sentiment, you could, there's thank you, for you, hi, those will all fit in there. So I'm going to use the thank you. I'm going to stamp it in Berry Burst. Tuck it in just like so. Looks so cute. And some of us, or most of us probably watching this, are old enough to have used a typewriter, right? My sister had a fancy typewriter. I used hers. So you're going to cut out everything again. So cut out the plant, cut out the typewriter, we're going to cut out the paper. And the bottom doesn't have to be fussy because it's going to be behind the typewriter. And then we're also going to stamp, look, there's a little paper clip and a little daisy. We're also going to do the little daisy. And we're going to stamp that in black as well. And then I wanted to color the center. So you could use the same trick I did before with the blender pen and the ink. Or something like this. It doesn't have to be exact. So I've got the Daffodil Delight marker. And so I'm just coloring the center of my daisy with that. So whatever you have that works. I've already fussy cut out the rest of those. So now we're just going to put some things together. So I've got my cute little typewriter. And then my fun little paper behind it. So I'm going to run some seal along the top first of my typewriter to put the paper on. And just center that in there. Then I'm going to put dimensionals on the back of this. And then we're just going to layer up all of our cute little images here. So typewriter first, and then here's our plant. Just got to find my glue dots. I always lose my glue dots on my desk. That's the one thing that disappears every time. It's like, didn't I just use the roll of glue dots? It disappears every time. Okay, and then I'm going to put it on this side. So I want my dimensional, just make sure I get it on the right side. So it kind of layers up a bit. And then I also cut out that cute little daisy. And I'm going to use a, let me grab one here, a smaller dimensional, so the little minis. And we're going to tuck that there. And then that's it. So they're simple, but they're so cute. There's going to be lots of fun things that you can try with the stamp set just because it's kind of like a mix and match, create your own kind of images. So there's that one there. So fun. So let's bring you back to all three. And then I can show you another card I made. I wonder if I have it handy here. I do. So here's one I made a few weeks ago on my blog. So same paper, Delightfully Eclectic DSP, and then I just stamped those cute little flowers. So that's what those flowers there. And then I just embossed the thank you. And so these I just cut out with a punch, so I didn't have to fussy cut around the flowers or anything. So there's another example with those. But these would make a sweet little set for you to have on hand for when you need some cards, or for you to give away as a little set too. That would be really cute. So I hope you like those. I'm going to come back up here for a second. So thank you so much for hanging out with me today, and I hope you like those, gave you some ideas, and convinced you about the Just My Type stamp set, which is so, so cute. And then remember, you can get any DSP you want to go with it for 15% off all this month. If I can help you with an order, or if you have questions about joining Stampin' Up with a fun starter kit deal this month, you can always just send me a message or contact me, and I would love to give you a hand. So I hope you guys have a fabulous weekend, and that the weather cooperates wherever you are. We're having a chilly day today, but I know the sun's coming back tomorrow. So, and I will be back next week with, of course, more fun projects. So I will see you then. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.